Yesterday it was explained what really meant by spirituality and what the people generally take it to be. Spirituality is not the performance of the outer rites and rituals, reading of scriptures, visiting holy places, or performing this custom or that custom. Those are meant only for the preparation for spirituality. So we read scriptures, you know what do they contain? The masters who traversed into the beyond, and whatever they had experienced there, they gave very sweet stories of the future, after when you rise above body consciousness. Where the world philosophies end, there the religion starts. So that is, reading of scriptures give us it, what you said, interest to know what is beyond. This is something reading about those travels, what they had in their lives, but unless we also go there and see those things with our own eyes and experience the same thing our own selves, that's quite a different thing. So reading of scriptures is the first thing. But you know, the right interpretation thereof can only be given by somebody who has been to those places already. If he has not been there, he will simply give their interpretation at the level of intellect, so each one will differ. So I am just putting before you, the first step is to read the scriptures, which are with us, fortunately, of all masters who came in the past up to date. We are fortunate. But what do they really contain, as I submit to you? Those what they experience, we should also experience, only then that is truly speaking meant by the word spirituality. Who we are, what is our connection with the body, whether we can rise above body consciousness at will, traverse into the beyond, higher planes are more beautiful than the physical plane. There are so many mentions in the house of our Father, macrocosm within the microcosm. These are some of the statements given by those masters in the past who visited those places. By reading those things, that creates an interest in us, we should also go and see. This is one thing. To visit the holy places of worship of masters, which are called places of pilgrimage, we go there just to remind what those masters who lived there preached. And also by going there means reminding us of that higher life which they led. Similar all other performances of the rites and rituals, going to the temple, light the candle there, ring the bell there, it is reminding us that this outer temple is made out of the bottle of man, which is the true temple of God, in which the light of God is effulgent and music of the spheres is reverberating within us. So that those are made as bottles for those who are beginners to know what is what. So performance, those are meant for good purpose. They are good action, because they are meant to know about our own self and know about our own God. They are symbols, they are kept. Similar in churches like that, in mosques like that. So they go to show that such light, you see, everywhere light is lit. Some form of music is there. So that only goes for those who are just preparing the way and hanker after knowing the truth, which is given by models outside, to realize, to see with our own inner eyes those very things which are demonstrated outside. So other rituals also stand the same. So there are two sides of religion. One is exoteric, the other is esoteric. Exoteric side we are following. To remain in such social body is a blessing, otherwise there will be corruption. But to remain in some social body and do not derive that very thing for which purpose we have joined that special social body, it is, in few words, not deriving the full benefit of joining that social body. All religions, exoteric side also read scriptures of the masters, go to temples which are made out of model of man body, and go to the holy places where those masters lived sometime, just to remind us of the higher goal before us, and that is to know God and to know ourselves. This is the exoteric side. And the other thing, that we should have ethical life, normal life. So all, where all we are, these are good actions. They are meant for the purpose of knowing God, but it is knowing God is something else than to have some models to represent us, such like light sound is within us and such like sound is reverberating within us. You follow the difference between the two? So spirituality is the way back to God. Word religion also means back, leisure to bind. The binding our soul back to God. Word yoga also means the same thing. It comes from the word root yuj. That means joining ourselves to God. So there's a vast difference. One is seeing and doing. But you say worshipping. To see and worship, that's something else. To do, perform certain things for that original thing for which they stand for, it is a different thing. They are good actions. As we are the doer, we have to reap. Whatever we sow, so shall we reap. They are good actions, we will have good results of them. But the masters lay before us the goal, see and then say. God is light. When your inner eye, single eye is open to see the light of God, that's all right, God is light. God is reverberating in all creation. See that eye, that ear with you see really He is reverberating in all creation, then praising God that He is reverberating all, permeating all creation. This is the goal of the saints, masters set up before us. Remain where you are, those are not to be changed. This is the first step. Man is a social being, must have some social body to live in. So masters, when they come, they don't touch social body. The social body differences I explained to you last night are due to climatic influences or customs prevailing in various countries, or further to bigotry and narrow-mindedness. Truth is one, target is one, their orchards are many. So all religions, wherever they are, we all have a goal before us to know God. And to know God, we must know ourselves. So wherever you are, that's all right. So what all the scriptures say, that our goal is to know God. And all masters say that God is everywhere and the nearest approach is within your man body. The whole universe The whole world, the earth below and sky overhead is the big temple of God. And the small miniature scale man body is the temple of God. And we who reside as well as that power resides, whom we have to meet. That I also explained to you last night. This is a wonderful house of the man body in which we live. There are so many apertures. We cannot run away out of it. We are controlled. Body works so long as we are in the body, and we are in the body so long that power, which is called God into expression power, is controlling us in the body. Both the one who seeks Him and the whom He is after, both have the same place, same body to live in, but the pity it is that the one who has to see Him is after Him, he is identified with the world outside. The only thing required, spirituality means withdrawing your attention from all outside and from the outgoing faculties and from the body below, come up to the seat of the soul in the body which is at the back of the eyes, where one leaves the body at the time of death. So Saint Plutarch tells us, those who are initiated into the mysteries of the beyond, their soul has the same experience as it has at the time of death, of leaving the body. Now there is a vast difference between the two. Spirituality. Spirituality aims at beatitude, beatific vision. To see God, is there possibility of see God? Master says yes. Which God? That God which came into expression. Absolute God, nobody has seen God at any time. When he wanted a one wish to be many, that God into expression power has two aspects, light and sound. That we can see, of course, not with the eyes of flesh or bones or ears, outer ears. So I submitted to you last night, who is called a master, who is a guru to sense of the world, and what do we take it ourselves at our own level. So guru or master is the one who is word made flesh, who has traversed access into the beyond. Their body works in the world, but their soul is in tune with God, mouthpiece of God. They appear to be engaged in all the world over outside, but whenever they want, they rise above body consciousness and traverse into the beyond. And those who meet them for the purpose, they give them a demonstration as to how to rise above body consciousness. Very little thought of theirs. So this is, truly speaking, spirituality. Spirituality, no spiritism, as I submitted yesterday, no spiritualism, no mesmerism, no hypnotism. So all what the masters say, tell us, we have to know God, where to go. We are now seeking in the temples. Those are models, like dolls put before you, to understand that such like God is light and such like sound beautiful. Outer customs, other thing, no matter how you can keep your body fit, have a devotional attitude. So these are good actions. But knowing God is something else that cannot be had unless you know yourself. So all masters said, know thyself, east or west. Knowing oneself means a matter of self-analysis, rising above body consciousness and knowing God. Then you see. So this process of knowing oneself and knowing God, withdrawing from all outside, rising above body consciousness, is called spirituality. What they see, what they say, they see that we have seen God. Where? In this very man body. What are those eyes which you have seen? They say those eyes are hidden, not the outer all of flesh and bones which he can be seen. Which God? God into expression power, not the absolute God. Then why, we ask him, why don't we see? He says, because mind stands between you and God. Your souls are in the control of mind. Mind is under the control of outgoing faculties, and outgoing faculties are dragging you to the enjoyments of the outside. So long as we do not rise above this delusion, and not by self-analysis rising above body consciousness, we cannot see God. Like knows the like. They say we have seen, why can't we see? So all masters have said the same thing. We are sticking to the outside, all rituals, customs, and performance of prayers and devotional practices which relate to the outgoing faculties, body or mind or interest. They are good actions. They have to reap, you reap the good results of it. Doership will go on, the same wheel of life will carry you on, come and go. When you are able to see that He is the God working all through creation, He is the controlling of all creation and us in the body, and we are mere puppets here, that He is controlling all of that. So when we become conscious co-worker of the divine plan, then our ego is lost. So the result of the actions of the past, who will be there to bear fruit of that? So Masters say, we have seen God. Where? I just refer to Guru Amar Das, who was in search of it for 70 long years. He performed all those rituals, ways of practices, other methods, performing havanas and others, whatever it is. He has been doing all 70 years, visiting various places of pilgrimages, and met all yogis and others. Ultimately, when he met his master, he gave him a demonstration of how to rise above body consciousness, and came face to face with the become conscious co-worker of the divine plan, which is controlling us in the body and all universe. Then he said, it is a great blessing to such a living master. So all the teachers of the outer sciences, we have respect for them, whatever we have learnt at their feet. But this science is, the ABC of this science starts when you rise above body consciousness. Where the world philosophies end, there it starts. With all your outer devout actions and spending years and years in the performance of all outside practices, they are good actions. We cannot deny it. But the doership is there. You will have to bear the fruit of that. Unless you become conscious co-worker of the divine plans, your single eye or the third eye or the Shiv nature is opened, your latent eye, deep tissue, you see that He is the doer, He is the controlling power of all, we are mere puppets, then only we await the reactions of the past. So Guru Amar Das, when he had that privilege of sitting as the master, he told out, well, you are after God. Yes. Then why are you running outside? He is within you already. Prophet Muhammad says that God has told me that I am so great that all these universes, all these planets, whatever are made are not sufficient to contain me. I am more than that, more bigger than that. But he says, strange enough, I reside in the heart of a devotee. You see? You want to meet me, go there. in which he is manifest. So I can reside in small heart there in the man's body. All the world, universe are not said to contain me. So all masters say, he is within us. They give examples like that. You see, because there's, for instance, milk. So butter is in the milk, but you don't believe it. Unless, but milk is, you see, just made, what you say, curd, and curd is a version out of that to take out butter, then say, really butter is in the milk. Those who have not seen this process, they say, how can butter be in the milk? You see? So similarly they say, just, masters always tell us to just tap inside. They don't tell you to go around with the outward things, because whom you want to meet, he is already with you. He is waiting for you. So he says, this man body, which is the long cave, it's a long cave, dark inside. He says in this, that God which cannot be seen at the level of outgoing faculties or mind or intellect, that resides there. Why can't we say, first thing, he is inside you also, and all outer world is also his expression. As I submitted that the earth below and sky overhead is the biggest church, biggest temple. There is no place where that God into expression is not. But in the man body, inside also you can see, when your inner eyes open, you also see all outside. Now in the air, all atmosphere you don't see, you see it is all vacant. There is nothing there. But if you see through a microscope, which magnifies a thing about 700 miles more, when you see through it, you find all this atmosphere is full of insects. Whereas they are even now full of them, but as those things are not up to the level of a physical body, we cannot see. So when your attention is withdrawn from outside, outgoing faculties, rise above body consciousness, divide of all outer things, that inner eye is open. You see God is pervading everywhere. God is light. So he is within you also, all outer world is also his expression, but for those whose eyes are open, inner eye is open. So masters say, how to have it? He says, sit at the feet of some master who will open your eye to see the light of God. As I submitted yesterday, that God sealed our ears and our eyes, and then that God comes in the form of man to open the seals. All masters say, Guru word means who can remove the darkness from before you and make the light of God effulgent, manifest. The word Guru means that. So, light is there. We are light. Take heed that the light is not darkness. To have that light within you is symbols of which are given all outer churches and places of earth. He says, because he got it out 70 long years, he says that I am Holocaust. I sacrifice myself at the 2 feet of such a master, with whose grace my inner eye was opened, and I began to see the God reverberating in all creation. That is called Nam, or word. God is nameless, God is wordless. When he wanted to be many, that power that came to expression is called Nam. are called world. And whole creation came into being out of that. That God is expression power is the cause of whole creation, and that permeates all creation. He says, I am sacrificed to my Master who has made that bread of life, water of life, the God into expression, gave me a contact with that, by having which I am having now everlasting life. We are giving a contact with someone which will never die, ever eternal. So our soul is also of the same essence as that of God. God is all consciousness, all intelligence, all attention. We are also conscious entities. We are also attention. So he says that bliss and sweetness, that beatitude that I had by coming in contact with that elixir or the nectar of God into expression power or Naam or word, by having that sweetness, my mind left all outer enjoyments. Master says, we see, why can't you see? Because mind stands in your way. Your soul, our souls are led away by mind, mind is led away by outward faculties, and outward faculties are driven like anything to the outward enjoyments. We are identified with that unless we rise above that. We cannot see Him. We cannot know ourselves too. But what is remedy? Unless the mind gets some more sweet, more enjoyment, as compared with the outside enjoyment, he won't leave outside enjoyment. So outer things, all practices, all customs, all readings give you for a while for which mind it takes rest. After all again it runs away. But God has provided within us that nectar of life, the water of life, and the bread of life, and which is the outer expression of the God into expression power, light and sound. So that has got the highest elixir. When one's mind has that experience, that enjoyment, it does not again run to the outer enjoyment. Now it does not like to need the outer enjoyments, but when it gets a little taste of that higher bliss, then if he once goes inside, he would not like to come out. So he says, how to that bread of life, how to have that water of life. This man body, this is standing in the way. So Kabir says, I went out to have a pilgrimage to Makkah. On the way, God met me and rebuked me. Where are you going? I am in you. Why are you wandering outside, finding me outside? So God is within us, all masters say like that. Being in the true temple of God and going to the models made to represent the true temple of God, is it wise enough?